Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good too.
I love really good. Tell me why really good.
Oh, because since the first of the year, and I've been trying harder to be good, I've lost almost 4 pounds.
Congratulations.
Since I've gained a whole bunch more than that back from what I had lost before, that makes me feel good.
I was talking, we should. It's a great thing. That's really good. We're only on the 6th, so that's almost a pound a day. That's incredible. Good morning, Bree.
Good morning.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you. I'm meeting with a developer 30-year time.
The developer for what?
A commercial developer.
Cool.
So I want to be his go-to real estate person.
Love it. Not want to. You already are.
Yep. Yep. You're gonna get it.
Yep. You're gonna get it. So
that'll be my second developer.
oh, way cool, Bree. Good morning, PF. Hey.
Oh, here I am.
So PF, I have something for you really quickly, and then I want to kind of dig into today. I have these cards that I send out. I have all kinds of things that when I do thank you cards and stuff, these go in the thank you cards. But the one for today says the leader of Piplantry, I have no idea where that is. Well, a small village in India, set up an initiative that sees trees planted each time a girl is born in the village.
Oh, cool.
I love that.
I knew you would. I knew you would.
Oh,
That is
Isn't
awesome.
that cool?
Hey, listen, my daughter's pregnant with twins, right? You know, I told you that.
Uh-huh.
They did the gender reveal. I'm having 2 grandboys.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh,
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, huge
I'm
congratulations.
So glad it's you instead of was me.
My daughter.
God bless her.
Yeah.
really.
Exactly. When's she due?
June 6th,
Excellent.
due date, but you know, she'll be early.
Yeah.
Tell her to join the Moms of Twins and Triplets
Okay.
organization. They're amazing, and that's how I got through like my 0 to 2. Even the pregnancy is like different. So tell her to reach out to that, and it's like tons of support, and people like it's twice the expense with the strollers and the car seat. People are like, you can have mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It is
because everything is
expensive.
fun.
Yeah.
You're
I
right.
will tell her. Thank you.
That's
That
very
would be
cool.
so overwhelming.
Oh,
Is this her first
I mean, it's
pregnancy?
awesome.
Yep.
Is this?
Oh.
So she doesn't know any different than what it will be like with twins.
No.
I'm number 5 and 6 out of 6 in a family, and we were twins.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
My parents were out of their mind.
I think
You're
if
a
I started
twin,
off with
please?
twins, I'd never do more, but I don't.
Yeah, exactly. It's exhausting. Yes, I am a twin, PF. I'm an
Oh.
identical twin.
That's
You
kind of cool
started?
though.
You started
What?
twins, Bree?
Yeah, I started with twins. And I tapped out.
It's a lot.
Oh my God. And I can't imagine it being at the end.
Get over here.
You know,
Well,
like
luckily we had,
kids at first.
luckily I had an older sister who supported because my brothers were nowhere else. But it was tough. I don't know if my father, I mean, he did recover, but when he heard the news, because they also didn't find out that my mom was having twins until about 7 or 8 months in, we were right on top of each other and they couldn't hear the 2 heartbeats.
Wow,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Yep, crazy. But we got here.
All right, congratulations, everybody. And man, let's dig in. I don't know if I'm scattered still from holidays or whatever. I don't know if I shared this with you guys. So tell me if I shared this with y'all. They did a study on willpower. Did I share that with you guys about limited versus unlimited? All
I
right,
don't
let's
think
dig in.
so.
I think you started it right before we left. And
Okay. All right.
yeah,
So they did this
something
study.
about you're able to generate it.
Yeah. So
Was it
there's
with the kids?
huh?
Was it with the kids?
No. There's something with there's a lot of stuff out there now about willpower being limited or unlimited. And the people who one of the things that they're always analyzing what makes you successful, and there's grit and determination, and part of that is willpower. And they always have said that your willpower starts off in the morning very full and then depletes as the day goes on. And so they've always said if you have to do lead generation, do it in the morning. And this has been going on for like 20 years. They've been saying this mindset that willpower is a thing that depletes itself. So lead generate, do your hard stuff in the morning. Eat That Frog is a book based upon that entire concept. Do the hard thing first. And then as the day wears on, and your willpower depletes, you've already done all the hard stuff. You're fine. It's why they say that people will like eat a cookie at night if they're on a diet, because the willpower is depleted and they can't say no to the cookie. And then there's all these studies that have been popping out. So that's been the school of thought for 20 years. And there's all these studies that have been popping up recently that possibly that is not the case. And so what they did, this guy, what he did is he developed a questionnaire, and that questionnaire had a ton of questions on it. Things like, if you make a very, very difficult decision, is the next decision that requires willpower, is the next decision that you have to make right after that, if you have to make another one that's smaller, that also requires willpower, is it easier or more difficult because you expended your willpower on this hard question, on this hard thing? And so they use these series of questions to kind of divide people into 2 groups, those that felt willpower was limited and those that felt willpower was completely unlimited. And then once they had them set up into their groups, they just watched them for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And what they found out is that people who believe their willpower is limited started off their morning with a raised level of increased willpower. And as the day went on, it did deplete. And if they had a bad day, very stressful, very whatever, it depleted, it plummeted. And then sure enough, in the morning, it would come back up again. And that's what their curve looked like. It looked like this, as every day kind of did this. And then the people who felt their willpower was completely unlimited, it was just willpower. It wasn't, there was no limits. It's just willpower. They would start their day off very, very high also. And they just hold it. If it was a particularly bad day, it might get bumpy up at the top, but it didn't plummet. And then the next day they started, right up there again, and they maintained it. And they determined that the people that are very successful are these people that are, one of the components backing up success is having that mindset of unlimited willpower. And as I really started to process through that, do you guys know what Schrodinger's box is? Okay, so Schrodinger's box is a thought experiment. And what we're discovering is that here's the way the concept of the box works. There's a closed box and you can't see inside of it. Is there a cat inside the box? Yes or no? So that's so that's the thought process. And what they really have been doing is they have realized on a quantum physics level, teeny, tiny. I'm going to back up a second. The way the world works with our rules like gravity and physics and centrifugal force and all those kinds of things, those work on our level of this size of an object, and we see it all the time. It doesn't work in the minute quantum physics, and it doesn't work in the magnitude, the gargantuan, like universal size. The same rules don't apply. And they're trying constantly to figure out a rule of physics that applies on all 3 levels, and they haven't been able to do it yet. So they're playing with things like string theory and things like that. And that's what that is. That's quantum physics and trying to figure out the rules that apply always, because right now they don't. For instance, there's some atoms and they get split apart and put them miles and miles and miles apart. And this atom is spinning clockwise, to think for a second, and this one's spinning clockwise. If they start this one spinning the other direction, this one, even though there's nothing together, will start spinning the other direction also. It doesn't, the rules of physics don't apply, and they can't figure it out. It's the weirdest thing. So Schrodinger's box is part of that study. What they found is that the fact that you are measuring or analyzing or looking at the way, let's say, atoms bounce in this one thing, changes the way the atoms bounce. So the atoms will bounce one way until you start to look at it. And if you expect them to be bouncing this way, they will actually bounce this way when you look at it. And there's massive studies around this concept. So Schrodinger's box is the very act of looking and examining the object changes the object. That's what it is. So is the cat in the box is a cat in the box? Do you expect a cat in the box? Do you not expect a cat in the box? And then whatever that is, there is or is not a cat in the box is sort of what the mind thought process is around that concept. Backing up. If it doesn't matter if your willpower is limited or unlimited, it doesn't matter which one it truly is. That doesn't matter. What matters is what you think it is. That's what matters. If you think it's unlimited, it's unlimited. You've got massive amounts you can tap into. Will you have rocky days? Of course you will. We all do. Will it get bumpy and you want the flipping cookie once in a while? Yes, of course it will. It gets bumpy. That's the way life is. Nobody lives this perfect Pollyanna life as much as, you know, I would like to, but then I'm not growing if I'm living that. What matters is what you think. So if what matters is what you think, then in Schrodinger's box, there's always a cat inside. And I told you that to tell you, so I've been playing with this concept in my head. And I told you that to tell you this. So last night driving home, so I've really been playing with that concept. And I know that this is so much more powerful than we realize. And the way the brain works with the reticular activating system, you only see what you tell it to see. You only see what you tell it is important. For instance, I did this with Brianna the other day. Bree, you're driving, don't do this, but I already did it with you anyway. I want y'all to look around your room. And I think I did this on when I did the class also, but look around your room. Yeah. So PF, look around your room at every single thing in your office or room, wherever you are right now, not Bree, that's red. Just take a moment and look around at every single thing that's red. Okay, you guys got it? Kathy, I think you were there too.
Yeah, we did this.
Okay, all right. Now, close your eyes. Keep them closed. Tell me everything that's blue. Okay, Craig, open your eyes. Look around you at everything that's blue. Flipping everywhere, right?
Wow.
See? It's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
It's kind of a fun game.
It is, because you didn't tell your brain it's important. So last night driving home, so I've been pondering and playing with this concept in my head. And I believe I know this to be true. I know how the RAS works. That's just science. It's the little piece back here that says focus in on what's important, and then you can see it. And it was always in front of you. All the blue things were always there. You just didn't see it because you didn't tell yourself what was important. You told yourself red was important. So therefore blue doesn't even exist. There's no cat inside the box because you didn't tell yourself what was important. So last night driving home in my little bitty car, going around 85, which is not out driving my headlights. So anyway, so I'm driving home and I'm like, okay, what are you going to do if you see we always flip and see animals? My husband and I usually do that drive. He's usually driving and he's got super quick reactions and he's just brilliant and everything else. He's the best driver on planet Earth. Mine are not as fast as his, and I drive faster than he does. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, what are you going to do? All right, so if it's deer, don't honk your horn. Just make sure you slow down because deer are literally like, ooh, headlights, they're just dumb as rocks. And if it's a bear, like honk your horn and make sure that the bear will get scared and moves faster, and like just be hyper aware of what's going on because it's pitch dark and there's nobody out there, no lights, no anything. And I'm just processing through in my head, and it's late and I'm tired. So we've been moving furniture all flipping day and I got no sleep the night before. So I'm just tired. And I'm like, make sure, like, stay on point, Janet, stay on point, stay on point. And it's not even so much of just drive. It's like they're flipping animals that will run in front of you. And so I'm processing through, you know, if a bear does, a flipping bear ran right in front of me. And I'm like, wow, would that have happened if I hadn't have been sitting here focusing on it? Now, I know that sounds crazy. And yet the very act of examining the thing makes the thing be the thing. And that is what really got my brain going. So I thought, instead of thinking about a bear and I'm getting together to put this class out, why am I not thinking about 48 people signing up for my class, which would be 3 sessions? Why am I not thinking that? And it was this great reminder to put back in front of my face again on a constant basis of not, I want 48 people. 48 people have already signed up for my class. Yesterday I was talking, day before yesterday, I was talking with Andre LaFountain, and I'm like, hey, I'm waiting for one little piece, the link from Success of where you sign up. I'm just waiting for them to build me the link. Everything else is done, marketing, everything's completely done. I'm waiting for that link. I'm like, Andre, when I get that link, will you put it out for me? He's like, yeah, I got 854 people. I'll put it out for you. And then my friend Nick, I'm like, will you up in Cleveland, also in the XP, will you put it out for me? Yes, I'll put it out for you. He's got a big Facebook group also, you know, and then, so why am I not manifesting that? Why am I not focusing in on 48 people who already signed up for my class? And
Law
then
of attraction.
Pardon me?
Law of attraction.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is, which has physics and brain science behind it. It's literally because you tell yourself it's important, all of a sudden you see it. It's all there. You just see it. So I told you all of that to ask you guys this: 1, thoughts around it, and 2, what is it for you this year? And now I'm
So
going to
Gina, since we did that exercise, you did that with me, was it last week?
yeah.
So I've really been trying to focus, you know, on, I have been, not trying, but I have been focusing on my goals, like just keeping them front and center. So yesterday I was interviewed to be part of the board of directors for a nonprofit called Jazz Empowers. And they go into Title I schools, which are, you know, schools where majority, you know, socioeconomically disadvantaged. And they give them instruments, give them classes, and they start with jazz instead of classical music to try and attract these kids. So I'm probably going to be on the board of directors. So when I was talking to the lead, the executive director, at 2 interviews, we were talking about my goals and how I want to give back to the community and what vehicle I want to use. And so, which is, well, through real estate and affordable housing. She happens to be on the DEI committee of something here in Tennessee. So we connected about real estate, and she's opening doors for me for that. Like I explained to her so anyway, expanding what I'm looking at and focusing on my goals, I was able to create another opportunity through real estate, through my personal goal of giving back to the community. So I don't know if I would have taken that opportunity
Bam.
to link those had I not had it, like part of my goals, my vision, like everything. And I just finished Gary's visioning exercise like a week and a half ago. So
Exactly. So now you see the blue objects.
yes,
And
I
now
do
you-
not see the blue object. I saw one before, and now I see all of them.
Yep. Same thing happened with me and Nick in the book. Nick's going, you know, my niece is like CEO. No, she's number 2 in charge of all of Barnes and Noble.
Right.
And he's like, if you want a book tour, write the book, I'll connect you. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy crap, that's cool. And I never would have thought to talk to.
To connect it.
Yeah, connect it in.
We gotta get our book in Barnes and Nobles.
There you go. And I found out 2 days ago when I was putzing on the computer, so I was getting ready to, I was doing the final draft to clean up the last little tiny bit because we're making the booklets. And on my computer, it was like, do you want to publish this to Apple Books? I'm like, what? And so I look, and Apple Books is a thing. I need to read the fine print to see if it has to be exclusive, because if it is, I won't do it.
Mm.
It's free to publish to Apple Books. I'm like, what? So I don't know how that works yet. I just like spent 2 minutes looking in there, but again, I just would have gone, you know, what Apple does everything, whatever, and passed through it. But now I know I want to publish, and so it's there.
I think they're connected with Prime too, because we have Amazon Prime, and about the only thing that I use is the TV part of that personally.
Right.
And I mean, I do some shipping, but not much. Anyway, when you pull that up on that channel, they reference Apple, this and that and the other thing.
Books, music, movies.
So I
Prime.
think, yeah, I think it's all connected in
Yeah.
some way.
There's some way, and I don't know if it's a new, well, it's not new. I found an article from 2019 that I was doing a little bit of research on, but again, I didn't know. Yeah. So I'm just gonna look into it, because right now I have a publisher that will publish my stuff with complete non-exclusivity. Like I own everything all the way down the road. And that's what I want to maintain my rights on it, and be able to put it out wherever I want to put it out.
Right. That's awesome.
Oh, can I also share another thing from the blue red thing?
No, there's no sharing allowed in this group, Bree. I'm sorry.
So, in meeting with another developer a couple weeks ago, he shared his vision of going into 37208 zip code here in Nashville that has the highest incarceration rate per capita of any place in the United States.
Whoa.
Right. And it's right in our backyard. So, and you know, everything, blighted home ownership, everything's just disconnected. So his vision was to use Operation Hope, the nonprofit that I've been telling you about that helps build he knows the guy that is over it, like created it nationally.
Cool.
And so he's already got funding to go into all the K through 12 schools that 37208 feeds into and provide the curriculum for financial literacy from K through 12, and then plug the parents in Operation Hope. And then I'm going to help him build the foundation. This is like a 2-year project, the nonprofit. And I will be the real estate agent that will be teaching the real estate part for the parents.
Wow. That's
And so I was
awesome.
sharing this with the board of directors with Jazz Empowerment, because they're really focused on trying, and the discipline I got from music, from playing the flute and the cello, that I still like it. I mean, the discipline I got just like carries over. And I explained to her how it impacts, like I'm not a professional musician, but being in the music, it just gave me a different outlet to
It
give me
changes this
discipline.
too.
Yes. And so I was explaining to how everything's kind of connected. And
Mhm.
so from that, she's opening doors to help build the foundation that's going to bring this to fruition. We've already got the funding. We've got the national guy that's willing to come in and make the curriculum for the K through 12. So thank you, Gina. Just keeping it front and center has helped me see the opportunities that may have been there before, but I didn't see them before.
You're welcome, and it's not me, it's you. So there's that. Wow. Wow. I love that, Bree. I really do. I think 2023 is going to be an amazing year for you. I'm super looking forward to seeing, because you've got your hands in so many different pots that are all working towards the same goal. I'm really interested in seeing how I see you as the catalyst to bring all that together. And that's a lot of power moving forward to make a change in a community. That's a lot of power, influence, and the ability to really affect change. I was listening, I read something about, I call him Snoopy Dogg. I read something about Snoop Dogg yesterday, and I really loved it. And do you guys know who Diane Warwick is?
Warwick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you read that too?
I did.
I love this. So Diane Warwick, she out gangstered. This is Snoop telling the story. She out gangstered Snoop. And what she did was he was this young gangster rap guy. And she's, this icon in the Motown world.
She's Whitney Houston's godmother.
Is she?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, Dionne Warwick. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I-
Whitney Houston's godmother.
Yeah, amazing. Do you know the way to San Jose? That's her.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so she invited Snoop and a bunch of other people to her house and was having some sort of lunch or whatever. And she told them, she said, and they're massive gangster rap kids with the very misogynistic lyrics around that. And just really not uplifting lyrics. And so she went to Snoop and she goes, I want you to call me a bitch. And he was like, ugh. And he said, here we are in this icon's house, this maven of music that's, 30 years at that time in the industry, and we're nothing. And we can't even believe we're here. Like, why are we even here? And she's like, I want you to call me a bitch. And he's like, I can't do that. And she's like, here's the deal. She goes, someday you're going to have kids, you're going to be married, you have kids, and you're going to have grandkids. And I'm probably butchering this story. But you're going to have kids and you're going to have grandkids. And one day your daughter or granddaughter is going to look at you and go, Daddy, Grandpa, did you really say those things? And he goes, and you're going to have to look at her and say, yes, I did. And Snoop was like, and he goes, from that day forward, I made up my mind that my music was never going to tear down again. My music was going to uplift. Now, what I love about that story is twofold. Is one, I love Snoop. I think he's awesome. And I really like him because he goes against what you would expect coming out of that. He's just completely against it. He's just, everything about him is this wonderful, interesting juxtaposition. And he's like a walking oxymoron. I mean, he just is. He's very, very, he's two different things all put together in every aspect. And it's very interesting. And the second thing that I love about it is Dionne Warwick saw a problem and invited people into her house to go deal with it. And that is flipping amazing. And that was never talked about in the article, ever. And that's the other place I went to almost instantly. She saw a problem, she took it in her hands to do something about it. Wow. Wow. So
What a great way to do it.
what a great way
She
to
changed the trajectory. Like, she changed Snoop Dogg's trajectory. Like, now I love it when I see Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg together and the little thing that says, which one is the felon?
Which one is the what?
The felon.
Felon.
Aha! So true.
Yeah.
Because you assume, but it is not him.
Exactly. It's mistax evasion. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they formed such a good relationship
Yeah.
together.
Oh my God,
Yep.
the respect is amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I have a new respect for Martha Stewart
Me too.
because
I
she was
never liked
able
her.
to, right. And then, Snoop Dogg, the funniest thing is him narrating the nature program.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
gosh. I have to look
Him
this
and the
up.
meerkat.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's funny.
You have, like, if you want, like, a good uplifting, it is so, like, I'm like, oh my God. I have a new respect for nature.
Snoop did a country song, y'all. So yes, he did. He did a country song. And then there was another song that some other country people took gin and juice and countryfied it, like twanged the heck out of it. It's hilarious. Laugh my socks off. I mean, it's bad country. It's hilarious. But there's another one that he does a country song. It's great. I just really like him. Anyway, so I really see you as a catalyst for great change in your community. And I think that I think all of us one day are going to go, we knew her,
Yeah, no doubt.
back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
she blows me, you blow me away, Bree, every time. It's just incredible, the things that you're doing. All the
But I
time.
thank you guys. Like, you guys really help me, my mindset in the morning, like 7:30. I'm like, no matter where I am, if I'm in the car, like, I schedule things around. Like, I get motivation from you guys. So thank you.
Glad to be of service.
yeah, exactly. So that's why Kathy Willie bears on the beginning. So there you go.
Yep.
So if everything is blue in front of you, What do you, my first one I'm working on is my 48 people in my class. That's my first one that I'm going to, that is there in front of my head. The most, for me, the most important one. And then the second thing is I've already written a book and it's getting out there and I don't know how or what that looks like. And I really don't care. That's what, when I look back at my life, I want to be able to have people say about me, or I want to look back at it and say, holy crap, that book and those seminar class things changed my life and did a Dionne Warwick into some Snoop Dogs. That's what I would like. That's what I would, that's my intention moving forward. I want to do and be that.
We're gonna coin a new term. I've Dionne Warwick you. I've Warwick you. I've Warwick you.
I Warwick you. Yep.
I Warwick you.
Yep. I love it. So thoughts from the rest of all y'all, or intentions, or Gina, you're out of your ever loving mind. I can't believe it, but whatever, I'm going to go get another cup of coffee.
Well, for me, I know that's a thing. So I was telling the group yesterday that I did my visioning exercise a little different, my goals. I did my a rough draft of my goals first. And then I was supposed to vision yesterday, but I haven't yet. But I mean, I have indirectly, but I haven't spent that block that time. So one of my things was working new construction this year. So the young lady, the on-site agent that I did the deal with last week that we closed with, we talked, we're going to do lunch and learns. And then yesterday, while she and I were talking, I asked her, could I do open houses? And she was like, oh my God, yeah. She says, yeah, we would love for you to do open houses. And you can do them in any of our neighborhoods. I can get you in any of the neighborhoods. She says, I can even get you in the $1 million neighborhood that we have.
Nice.
Yeah. So she was like, you just let me know which one you want to do, when you want to do it. She said, I'll get it set up for you. And I was like, okay. So, you know.
You ever done circle prospecting, Craig?
No, I haven't.
So a way to get your name out there, when you do the open house the week before, get a list of the people that live in the neighborhood.
Okay.
And let them know that you are the agent, that you're inviting them to the open house.
Okay.
You know, like, hey, this is Craig Leverage, just want to, invite you to an open house. I know, who do you know that may want to be your neighbor? And doing that consistently gets your name out in that community as the go-to agent, and circle prospecting around the open houses.
Yeah.
You know that I am listing this house, and every time you're in that neighborhood, just circle back to them and then put them. And if you get an interest, then put them in your database.
Yeah. I definitely need to do that. So thank you.
And that's the Champaign kind of open house.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, can you have alcohol at your open houses?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, if not, you can always do sparkling grape juice or cider or something.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
then, so I'm looking for an open house doc, which I'm not seeing the one that I want to find, which I know I have.
Tennessee. I don't know about you guys.
Some places you can, some places you can't, some places you can't. So it just depends on, what the rules are. Nick DeVito just did a killer open house up in Cleveland. He partnered with a home stager and they threw Champaign open house. So in the nice neighborhood, I've seen that. I've seen people bring in a chef who does a cooking class. So I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen some really cool stuff, or maybe a chocolatier that does, teaches you how to make, bonbons or whatever. Or truffles, I guess. So there's just different things like that you can take ideas from on that upper end.
High end.
Yeah.
I like that.
Taking over a neighborhood, that's not the one I want. Well, somewhere I have an open house doc that has a bunch of stuff on open houses that is, that just, and it's around circle prospecting and things along those lines to get people in. So anyway, I'll see if I can find it. The only thing I can see right now is the shift doc. I wonder if I can just link a PDF to this. Why are you not opening up here into the chat box? I am not as good as PF. They'll just go with that. We'll just go with that. Anyway, okay, so you're going that direction. Congratulations. PF for Liz or Kathy?
Well,
Any further was done?
I
Yeah.
spent a little bit of time talking to Craig, and I'm hoping that we'll go, that'll turn into something that helps with, how would you describe it? Sort of several different aspects. Resort, also affordable housing. It just, we don't know where it's going to go yet.
Okay,
It's too
cool.
early.
Yep. So I'm playing around with some ideas.
Lot of
David and I
potential.
are playing around too with some, yeah, David and I are playing around with some ideas for some stuff too. That's cool. And again, wouldn't have realized it until I started the process through and started to open my eyes up to the opportunities around me.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else?
Well, I was just going to search for, I don't know if you've ever seen the image of, are you looking at a young lady or an old lady?
Oh, I
You know,
love
that
that.
type of
Yeah.
thing. So when we do this exercise, you know, I always, because I guess I've trained myself for so long to look at the other side, that I have to put in an extra energy to only focus on what I want. Because for me, it seems like the universe occurs that if I want this, I get that. And I don't want that. And it's like, no matter how much I want this, I still get that.
Can I help you with
So-
that?
I'm sorry?
Can I help you with that?
Yes, please. Thank you.
The word want is a place of lack. It means I don't have it. So instead of I want, try I am, I do. It already exists. My 48 people have already signed up. I can't see them yet. And that for me, my husband thought I was crazy when I first, okay, so I put paper on a yellow sticky. I have 10 listings. And every morning when I was beginning my 3rd year of real estate, I looked at that and I said, I have 10 listings. I have 10 listings. I have 10 listings. I have 10 listings. I have 10 listings, lead generate. And my husband is like, you do not have 10 listings, very literal. You do not have 10 listings. Why are you saying that? That's insane. And I'm like, no. And I have 10 listings. And then finally he, after every day of that, he sat me down and he said, look, I'm kind of concerned about you. You don't have 10 listings and you keep saying this. And that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, I personally do not believe in time. And what I mean by that is because I am a physical creature, I can only be here. I can't be over there getting another cup of coffee right now because I'm a physical creature, but I don't believe I really am a physical creature. I believe that truly I'm a spiritual being in a physical body at this point. So if that's true, time doesn't really exist because spiritual beings can be wherever they want to be in any place that instantaneous and at the same time, because time doesn't exist. It's a dimension that does not really exist. It's a construct that doesn't really exist. So if that's true, and I really do believe that, now you guys are gonna go and call Gary up and go, she's batshit crazy. But if it really doesn't exist and time doesn't really exist, then I don't need to want. I already have my 48 people. I
Right.
haven't seen them yet, but they already exist. They already exist, they're already there because time doesn't really exist for me. So
Well, you know, and
I don't think you're,
they discovered, and I think it was off the coast of some southeast. It was a island, an undiscovered community that
Yeah.
never been touched by outside, and their concept of time is more in line of what you're saying. You know, they don't ever say goodbye. It's always like until next time, and then
oh, wow.
like the Western thought of the construct of time is so limited and so recent that civilizations before us, and even now that have not been touched by the Western construct, it's just mind blowing for
Mhm.
us that have been so limited by the Western thought.
And I
Western-
don't think you're crazy, Gina, because I'm working through the same thing, which is why my vision and goals is taking me a little longer, because there is no construct of time. We created it. And it's so the bigger question is, where do we want to spend our energy through the day, contributing, creating content, supporting others, servicing others? Like, what do we want to do in that space, instead of saying, oh, I only have 2 hours to get this done or get this done, and plugging everything into a to-do list. So I don't think you're crazy. I will not be calling Gary to say so, but that is one of the things I've been working through.
I am batshit crazy. That's okay.
In a good way. And the thing is, I feel like I am too, because I feel like I've lived in the Twilight Zone like the entire time I've been on this planet. Like nobody kind of gets it. And I feel like, but I'm a good crazy. So if this is what crazy feels like, I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it too. I really, really am. There's some interesting studies around Eastern mindset and Western mindset. Thank you for reminding me of that. If you ever read The King and I, not the movie, the actual book, the real one, it delves in a light way. It deals with that Western versus Eastern mindset. We can't fathom it, what the Eastern mindset, how it really operates. They took a picture of a pond with a bunch of little fish and a big, huge red fish. And if you ask a Westerner, what is this a picture of? They'll say a red fish. Always, it's a red fish. If you take that to the Eastern mindset and you ask them, it's a pond. And they have a very inclusive, everything affects everything else, environmental, not in a green tree, but in a large S kind of concept, idea of how the world operates and works. So for a Westerner, if you show them a line going like this and you say, where's this line going to be in a week? They'll tell you here. But an Easterner will tell you here. An Eastern mindset will tell you here, because what goes up must come down. And it's very, very different. If you ever want to if you want to kind of expand your brain a little bit, dig into the Eastern mindset, because it's so foreign and different to ours. It just is a different way of thinking. It's intriguing.
Yeah, I haven't been consistent, but I started doing that when I was a teenager. So yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah, but it's also makes being in business harder, like PF was saying, because you look at this and they want you to look at this.
Western wants you to look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very good. Younger wants you to look at this, but wisdom looks at this.
Yeah.
Wisdom is, how does this going to affect this, going to affect that, going to affect that? So maybe I read the newspaper and I see that, which I don't, but maybe I get a snippet that says that an oil pipeline broke, and maybe I think oil is going to go sky high. And maybe because of that, I look into oil companies and I look into ones that aren't tied to that pipeline. And I buy stock in that thing or whatever. I don't know, but it's looking at how all the parts play in together. It's really interesting. The other one that does that, I can't think of his name, Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is very good at that.
Yes.
Very
He's
good
awesome.
at looking at that from a global mindset and putting it all together, and then and being able to make money off of it. So I think that music causes your brain to wire differently. Writing causes your brain to wire differently. Social interaction causes your brain to wire differently. And those different wirings and connections help us to create that sort of a global mindset. And that's not to say that detail is not important also, because it is. But it helps you to see how the different things are going to affect or play on things, and then make decisions based upon that as well. So yeah, it's all.
I think that's why I've been able to connect. I've been looking at the big global, like my big why, and then those things that will help me drill down. Like, not that the details aren't important, but seeing it holistically at the beginning, and then what I have to offer and what I can make a difference in.
Yep.
So like
I'm gonna tell you this, I'm gonna tell everybody this. This is gonna be speaking at Brianna right now, but it's actually speaking at everybody and Amir to speak at myself. You have everything to offer. You are uniquely where you are because you have made decisions or see the opportunity or choose to make the opportunity to put together whatever it is you want to put together. And there's always a cat in the box, and you would not be there if you did not have the skills, the knowledge, the wisdom, the support, everything else to move it the direction that you wish to move it. It exists because you say it exists inside the box. And it really does. It really, really does. And you can make it be whatever you want. Inside of my box is a Maine Coon kitty because I like them and I think they're dang cool.
They're huge.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. So
Thank you for always reminding, especially those of us who aren't always as self-confident as maybe we'd like to be.
you're very welcome. And if I don't keep this stuff in front of me on a regular basis, I will lose it. Have in the past. I choose to, it reminded me of how important it is for me to remind me. And part of that is to be in a community also, because that will bounce off and remind me too. And my last thing, PF, I have 2 cards for you. So this card, in 2005, Swedish millionaire Johan Elias, whatever, don't know how to pronounce it, bought 400,000 acres of Brazilian rainforest to help preserve it. So you got 2 tree things back to back. You got a
Oh,
plant a tree every time a girl is born, and then a guy who bought tons of acreage to preserve it, which is kind of cool. So
I
there,
love it. I should write down his name so that I can look him up and say, hey,
You want to buy some land in Haiti?
Right. So the village in India is Pip Lantry, P-I-P, L-A-N, like Nancy, T-R-I, P-I-P-L-A-N-T-R-I, Pip Lantry. Butchering that, I know I am. And then the Swedish millionaire who bought the 400,000 acres in Brazil is Johan, J-O-H-A-N. I'm gonna go with Johan. Or because, you know, Jimenez, so we're probably not going to Johan that one. And Eliash, the last name is E-L-I-A-S-C-H. Eliash, E-L-I-A-S-C-H. There you go. There's your 2 guys.
Good
And those
girl.
are back to back.
Sign in those letters.
Yep. Oh, no.
all right.
I was working with my granddaughter yesterday of spelling and words and alphabets and all those kinds of things. And that's, I don't know, it's just a natural thing to go there. Anyway, cool beans, you all. I love
Yeah,
my,
thank you.
you're welcome. I love my Fridays with you. I love so not prepared today. So, but the beauty of it is I love this group in that there's so no pressure. I get to sit here and think and go, okay, where have you been and what have you been present to? Let's go talk about that. And you guys are so open to it and you make it great. So thank you.
And Craig did a great job yesterday.
He did.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
was so blessed and lucky. And I literally did not know what direct. I was like, what am I? And I didn't think about it until when I texted you
Mhm.
half an hour earlier. I'm like, oh crap, you're going to be God knows where with no stupid cell service, you know, dodging bears, like unable to sit here and be on a Zoom. So Craig, again, thank you. Huge thank you.
Very welcome. I enjoyed it. Before we go, ideas for a closing gift for a single male.
Does he cook?
Nice.
You.
He does cook.
Then
The
Nice.
boards are really cool.
What is
Engraved
it?
cutting boards, you can get engraved knives. You can get a knife.
Yep.
Those are really cool also. If there's any kind of chefs, anything going on that's an event, that would be another cool thing.
Okay.
Tasting, that kind of stuff. Because if he's like food and he's a foodie, then he'll like tastings and those kinds of things.
Jasmine got a fire pit for one of her clients.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
You
he's
have
in,
Home
he's
Depot?
in a townhouse, so
Oh,
he
no.
doesn't have the room for it.
Right.
Nope. What else
Nope.
are just
yeah, part of that's dependent on, I think, on the amount of the sale too.
Yeah, so it was like 270.
Okay. What are his interests? Does cooking?
He likes cooking. I don't know what else. I know he likes cooking. He talked about cooking a lot.
Do
Okay,
you go to like Home Goods and get a not really expensive set of nice knives?
Mhm.
Or Cutco will engrave.
Okay,
and my,
Cutco is expensive.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
there's
I
another
could get him a
channel-
paring knife for $100.
Yeah, exactly. There's another one that's less expensive. They're good knives too. They engrave. My son, for his closing gift, the guy that did his EXP agent out there in Washington State, got glasses, but they're all different the wine bottles that have been turned into glasses, and they got them all engraved. And
Okay.
so they've got a cool set of the blue, green, and brown wine glasses made from wine bottles, all engraved. And I think his just say the Hansons on them, but you could put anything on there.
Yeah.
I read about somebody I don't know if you saw it, I put it on Facebook. It was called we are here because we're here, because we're here, because we're here. Did you watch that video perchance?
I don't
Put it
know.
on Facebook, and it's very, very cool. If you guys want it's 20 minutes, so it's long, but like grab a cup of coffee and watch it. It's on my Facebook. We are here because we're here, because we're here, because we're here, because we're here. And it's about the song Old Lang Syne. But somebody said that they took they took wine bottle glasses and engraved we're here because we're here. And once you watch that, you'll kind of get why. But that might be something also if he's into that kind of stuff.
I can also I know they have these engraved cutting boards too. So
Yeah,
The cool cutting boards are nice. And the thing about that, it's evergreen. So
Yeah.
every time he pulls that out, it's oh my gosh, I got this from Craig.
yeah.
And you know what? You may be able to get the knife engraved at a jewelry store,
okay.
Yeah,
Like a-
definitely.
like a family-owned jewelry store, not like K Jewelers or anything.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, there used to be an engraved Things Remembered does that too.
Yeah.
It does that.
I actually know an engraver. They engraved some glasses for a friend of mine, so I'm pretty sure they can, engrave some stuff.
Yeah,
Cool.
I got the cutting boards and had them engraved from Cutco when I was in KW. And then when I left, I still hadn't used them. So I had a woodworker gouge out all the KW stuff and leave just my name and phone number
Okay.
on there so that I've got that marketing. And I have an area that's like a scooped out area so you could scoop things in.
Oh, the water or whatever, you can.
Yeah.
Those are-
Yeah.
It's- instead of it just being a little gouge around it for trim, I've got that area. It's about an
Okay.
inch, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I was gonna say the cutting boards, the engraved cutting board's a great idea if he has recipes that he collects regularly, engraved recipe box or something of that
Okay.
nature.
Yeah.
And or if he likes experiences, I don't know if we have places around here like Cookology and different things, and you can gift a cooking class, like you can gift a cooking session, and sometimes it's like as low as $50 or $60, or you can do a group one, that's higher, but those are kind of
Yeah.
nice things too.
I'll look into that too.
Yeah, those are fun too.
Yeah.
I like Experiences are cool.
Thanks.
Exactly.
All right, you are welcome. All right, y'all, have a fabulous weekend. Love you all, and don't let bears run in front of you.
Hit
I'll
'em.
try to keep that in mind. Thanks for everything.
don't
Have a
hit
great
those
weekend,
bears.
everyone. Yeah, exactly.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.